Afternoon, you're very welcome to the TUS Gaelic rounds for this afternoon's Bonsecourt Hospital Limerick Senior Hurling Championship quarter-final. It is an inter-parish rivalry match between Ballybrown and Patrickswell, with throw-in set for 4 p.m. Before we go through the teams and build up to this game, we will take a look and listen to both managers, starting with Patrickswell manager Eamon Kelly. Joined by Eamon Kelly before Patrickswell and Ballybrown. Eamon, inter-parish derby, the boys must be excited for this one.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you know, they're two good sides. It's knockout hurling now, and you know, I made the best horse jump the ditch. You know,
you've obviously had a number of games so far. You're starting to find probably what you'd hope to be as your best 15, but you've had to change things as the championship's gone on.
Yeah, we've had injuries and guys come in and out, and we still have a few more injuries today. But listen, the 15 we have out are the guys that we even trusted to do the job, and they've trained well. It's about bringing it to match day, and as you said, it's a local derby. This is going to be, you know, there's going to be nothing in this.
Yeah, you managed to get back to winning ways. You're defeated by Kilmallock in round 4, but back to winning ways last time out. But you didn't have it all your own way, so probably no harm to have dug deep against Kildime Pallaskenry to get that win.
Yeah, credit Kildime Pallaskenry. They probably have been very effective against all the teams that they've played, and like, you know, it took us the last 10 minutes before we pushed on. You know, so as you said, we certainly got a stern test, as Ballybrown did last week. So you know, the clocks are back to zero today, and you know, here we go.
Joined by Harry Gleeson of Ballybrown, head of Patrickswell and Ballybrown. Harry, nothing will focus the minds greater than an inter-parish rivalry. The boys must be looking forward to this.
Yeah, sure we are. We're looking forward to it after last weekend as well. Things didn't quite go our way, so I think we're looking to try and put things right as best we can. So we know we're up against a difficult task today, but we'll give it everything we have. How's
the mood in the camp? Obviously defeated last week, but a chance to bounce back this afternoon.
Yeah, it is taking a bit of time. These things, you have waves, but look, everyone was down the early part of the week, but you know, as you say, nothing will bring it right. Only a game against Patrickswell, so. Yeah,
knockout hurling, so everyone knows what it's like. But have you made many changes or a couple of changes to the 15 for today?
About 4, I'd say. Injuries, some guys sick and stuff like that, and we were carrying a few knocks the last time. We probably took the chances with them, but look, there's fresh legs there now today, so but I think we're going to need a full 20 to get over this line, you know.
So that was both managers, Harry Gleeson of Ballybrown, and before that Eamon Kelly of Patrickswell. Well, these two sides, the nearest of neighbours, and of course ferocious neighbours, but a healthy rivalry. We hope it will be on display here this afternoon. But first, before we bring in our co-commentator, which is Barry Foley, we'll take a look at the two sides. We'll start with Patrickswell, who finished 4th in Group 1 after 5 rounds. Patrickswell have gone with a team lining up with Jason Gallan in goals. James Carrick, Mark Carmody and John Flynn are at 2, 3 and 4. Evan Fitzgerald, Diarmaid Burns and Nigel Foley, the half-back line. Cian Lynch and Jack Gallagher at midfield. Jordan Higgins, Kevin O'Brien and Cian Fitzgerald, and in the half-forward line, John Kirby and Tom O'Brien flank team captain, and marksman Aaron Gallan. And we'll now take a look at the Ballybrown side, which shows a number of changes to the one that was originally listed in the programme. There's been a couple of injuries and illness, as indeed Harry Gleeson said in his post-match or pre-match interview. They line up with Josh O'Reilly in goals. Mikey Kiley is wearing 30 and he's in place of the sick Kevin Foster. Stephen O'Reilly captains the side from corner back, while Mark Sheehan wears 4. Mikey Gavin, Kenny Power and Ned Quinn, but we're not sure will they line up like that in the half-back line. Colin Coughlin and Lee Doolan are partnered at midfield. Josh Adams replaces his brother Barry, and Josh will wear number 24. Aidan O'Connor wears 11. Ross Griffin 12. The inside forward line sees Luke O'Connor joined by Ross Kenny and David Hartnett. Ross Kenny wearing 19, David Hartnett wearing 21, but we expect Hartnett to operate a little bit further out from the goal. Delighted to say I'm joined by former Limerick and indeed Patrickswell star Barry Foley. Barry, good afternoon to you. How are things?
Good, Tom. Good now. Good to be glad to be here.
Yeah, the Patrickswell Ballybrown rivalry, it's a storied one. These two sides maybe a little bit before your time would have met in, you know, early rounds of City Championship when it was that format, and of course in the late 80s, early 90s there were ding-dongs for county titles, and of course then both clubs contested club final, All-Ireland club finals as well, so it's been a storied rivalry down the years. We haven't seen too much of it in recent times. I think 2018 the last time they met in the championship, but nevertheless these guys know each other very, very well.
Definitely, any time we play Patrickswell and Ballybrown play, there's always an added little bit of spice. I remember when I came on to playing senior in my early years, any time we play Ballybrown and be it City Championship or league matches, there'd always be a good few hundred, maybe even thousands of matches, you know, outside the clubhouse there in Ballybrown, and the rivalry's intensity, so there's a bit of bragging rights at stake as well today.
Yeah, and the semi-final spot with Kilmallock, we think we're just lining up now for Ron Naveen, but nevertheless these two sides arriving in here in contrasting fortunes from their last outing. Ballybrown defeated by Mungo St. Paul's last week, which meant they finished second, and Patrickswell picking it back up with a win over Kildare-Pallaskenry last Saturday. So indeed a quick turnaround for these two sides. But we saw the first game earlier today, a win for Mungo St. Paul's win for Doon over Mungo St. Paul's, 125-21. Adam English, the star performer, despite sustaining an early ankle injury. And Barry, there's some key matchups here. Nevertheless, one of them is the All-Star Hurler of the Year nominee Aaron Gillan. Ballybrown will have to mark him tightly. It's obvious, and it's fair to say. Yeah,
I suppose the key to really is keeping Aaron quiet if they can, which is a hard job in itself to whoever is marking him. But I suppose if Ballybrown want to stay in this game, they need to stop the supply into Aaron. And
yeah, we'll pause now for our Ron Naveen. Well, these two sides ready for it. Ballybrown will be defending the goal to our right hand side as their goalkeeper Josh Riley trots his way down Patrickswell with Jason Glenn in their goal to the left hand side. So it looks like Ballybrown will play against a strong enough breeze here at the TUS Gaelic grounds for this one, and they'll be hoping, I'm sure, both sides for a strong start to this one. We saw the first game 13 points apiece at half time, but a third quarter which was dominated by Doon pulled them away from Mungo St. Paul's. So we'll just see what way things are lining up at midfield. Cian Lynch, of course, the familiar side of him. He's just behind referee Eamon Stapleton, a Doon man in the middle. And Ballybrown in there with Lee Doolan wearing 9, and straight into midfield is Mikey Gavin. So we're all set and we're underway for the Sponsecourt Hospitals Limerick Senior Hurling Championship quarter final, the second of two. And straight in amongst it is Cian Lynch, but unable to get it is Colin Coughlin in the soft enough side here at the two Gaelic grounds. Manages to get it up, gives it back to Mikey Gavin. And Gavin to Hartnett, who's, as we said, not going to play in the corner forward position. Back to Josh Adams, and he arrows one across here looking for Aidan O'Connor with the socks up. O'Connor, is he on the back? It is, and illegally so. But, not too many positional changes for Patrickswell, it looks like, Barry, but more with the conventional 1 to 15 as best I can see it anyway so far. Yeah,
Ballybrown seem to go with a two-man full forward line, which will leave a spare man back there. I'd be thinking Mark Harmon will take up that spare man role and just sit in front of the full back line, then behind the half back line, and hopefully stem any attacks that Ballybrown may have.
Yeah, Mark Harmony, as I can see to my left, is the free man. John Flynn goes to pick up Aidan O'Connor as Dermot Burns is long free, goes a long way wide, but he was trying to pick out a runner, and that indeed the team captain Mr. Aaron Gillan, as Josh O'Reilly would live maybe a little bit closer on the Patrickswell side of the parish, but plays his hurling with Ballybrown as he goes long with the first puck out. Well taken by Ross Griffin. His hand pass not the best, but Lee Doolan is there to pick up the pieces. Back to Hartnett, and Hartnett has to scramble for it, but Kevin O'Brien is in there for the well, and the ball now back to Jack Kelleher. These guys, I'm sure, know each other also well from their days at underage, as the shot comes in from John Kirby, and John Kirby's effort is just going to tail to the left and wide, a second wide for the well. And again, O'Reilly surveys his options, so we can just see Ballybrown with two men, Ross Kenny and Aidan O'Connor at the edge of the square. So O'Reilly's going to try and want to work this through the lines before they can drop it in there, as the ball is out towards Hartnett. Does well to take it with his left hand and breaks the tackle. Hartnett though spills it, ends up on the turf. Sloppy from Ballybrown as Aaron Gillan is in there, clash of the ash with Stevie O'Reilly, and O'Reilly has chasing Gillan. Gillan, little hand pass off to cousin Jordan Higgins. Higgins off the right. Where's that going to go? Jordan Higgins opens the scoring here at the two Gaelic grounds just to beyond 3 minutes. And a nice score indeed it was, Barry.
Yeah, great score by Jordan. In fairness to Jordan, he's having a great year. He's scoring a lot. He's popping up with goals, and any opportunities he gets, he's putting them over the bar. But just while the field does look good, there's a couple of fellas struggling to rise the ball in the early stages, so the field could cut up a bit during the match.
Yeah, and here is Higgins with a second opportunity. Miscued clearance as Higgins goes for his second of the afternoon, and just like that, Patrickswell 2 to the good. Jordan Higgins intercepts a poor pass from Mikey Kiley, but he doesn't need too many invites, as Barry said. Is having a fine year and has helped himself to, I think, 2 goals in the championship so far, but the points are quickly adding up here as this time Kiley's effort goes a little bit longer, but back underneath it is one of the Patrickswell men in the cover. Here's Fitzgerald, that is Evan Fitzgerald, and Evan angles it towards Galan. He's contesting well by Stevie O'Reilly, and the ball out for a third wide for Patrickswell. Ballybrown yet to get the real foothold in it, Barry. They've struggled to get the clean possession.
They're struggling. I think they went up the middle a couple of times there with balls, and that's where the extra man for Patrickswell is. So they'd be cuter if they tried to play the lines. The fact that Patrickswell have a spare man back there in front of the full back
Higgins
line.
back to Kelleher. Kelleher's effort is sailing, but it's just tucked inside the posts. It's nicely done by Jack Kelleher. Higgins with the assist this time, and Jack Kelleher puts Patrickswell firmly in control at this early juncture. And good afternoon to you, wherever indeed in the county, even if you're watching in Patrickswell or Ballybrown or further afield, perhaps over in the UK or beyond. Great that we can bring you these games as Mikey Kiley again gets the short puck up. This time his clearance or his delivery is longer. Aidan O'Connor scrambling for it. Ross Kenny provides a bit of a decoy run, and O'Connor struggling, as Barry said, to gather possession of it and just knocks it out over the inline. And Ballybrown needs something to go for them just to get their confidence up in this one.
Yeah, I think that's the ball there for Mike Kyle. They're trying to hit it in over the half back line and in over the sweeper. And if they can get it in over the sweeper, they might get a bit of success, but it's going to be hard when you have 3 men back, 3 Patrickswell men marking 2 Ballybrown.
Yeah, line ball on the far side now, as I think it's Jack Kelleher lining it up. It's a nice cut of a ball. There's a race for it, and Mikey Kiley will know plenty of these players from his time with the Limerick team as the strength and conditioning coach. He sends it off to Mikey Gavin, a young and up and coming star for Ballybrown. Into Ned Quinn, rides a couple of challenges, does Quinn, and wins his free. And the first opportunity for Ballybrown to have a real look at the post, even though despite being against the wind, it's a long way out for Josh Adams as Aidan O'Connor leaves it to him.
Yeah, Ned Quinn did well there. He got the ball and tried to break the tackle and drew the free from the Patrickswell man.
So Josh Adams has played in all these games in the championship despite wearing 24 in each and every occasion. Colin Coughlin makes a little jog off the ball for him, but Adams has one idea on his mind and he looks to open Ballybrown's account, but he has sent that to the right and wide. And again, Ballybrown just struggling to get a foothold as the puck out goes short. Mark Carmody gives it back to Galan, and Galan, Jason that is, goes really long searching for his brother Aaron. It's going to go all the way wide. It's good tenacious defending by Mark Sheehan, and it was Tom O'Brien in amongst it as well, but another wide. 4 now for Patrickswell, and 2 or 3 of those from deliveries as Ballybrown do well to find Kenny Power. Power wearing 6. Power does well off the hurley, sends it into Luke O'Connor. Touch is good from O'Connor. Little jink is good too. You can see there the footwork not helped by the surface down there as Colin Coughlin arrows one into the sky here at the Gaelic Grounds. Colin Coughlin stands up for Ballybrown and gets them on the board. Nice score.
And needed that. Ballybrown needed that just to settle them. So good play, ball to hand up along the line, and a fantastic score by Colin.
Mark Carmody jogs out with it. Carmody's delivery though, searching for Fitzgerald, is not the best, and Josh Adams is there for Ballybrown in the cover. Sends it towards Lee Doolan, but Keane Lynch is there to break it. Clash of the Ashes. Kenny Powers hurley breaks. Keane Lynch upended by Doolan. And again, there's scramble for it. David Hartnett does well to roll lift it. Sends it in for Ross Kenny. He's no hurley, or Ross Griffin I should say. He wants the free. He's right to do so. He wouldn't have done much without a hurley. And now Ballybrown finding themselves in the game and a free and a chance to cut it back to 1.
Yeah, Ross Griffin did very well there. 50-50 ball. Made Nigel commit to it, bobbed over the top and forced him into the free. So it looks like not the easiest to freeze, but you'd fancy Aidan to put it over the bar.
Yeah, Aidan, of course, a member of the Limerick panel in the season just gone, made 1 bench all season. That was the last one in the All-Ireland final, and has seen his hurling, I'm sure, benefit from all those development squads and indeed the senior squad now. So he looks to open his account. O'Connor to socks up, lifts and strikes, gets it right, And Ballybrown with 2 in reply have a bit of a foothold in this one. Again, Patrickswell short and then long towards Kevin O'Brien. Jack Kelleher's in there, Lee Doolan. Those two boys, it's a very similar age as O'Connor off the left. Where's that going to go? It's going to go to the right hand side and wide. And a second wide for the men in white. But again, all the puck outs being left go short. As I say that, we go along with one towards it's John Kirby. Kirby with advantage. He has time to pull away from Mikey Kiley, and Kirby's effort is to the left and wide, but we're going to come back for the free. We've yet to see too many early skirmishes. We did see Kenny Power break a hurley, but yet to see any real ruck ball. That those possessions are normally crucial, but very loose so far.
Very loose so far. Good puck out there by Jason into the space up to John, but I think Ballybrown will settle a bit into it now. Patrickswell got them 3 early scores. Ballybrown have settled a bit. They've won a few balls in around the middle, but they're playing it a bit cuter, ball to hand, and seem to settle into the game nicely now.
As Galan, one of many on this team in the 2016 side that won the county final between these two sides. Galan lifts and strikes, and no mistake from him. Hurler of the year, many people would feel, is nailed on, and that free is straight between the posts here at the Gaelic Crowns. So O'Reilly goes long, looking for Colin Coughlin. Coughlin does well, gets 2 hands on it, and then eventually it ends up out over the turf. John O'Halloran, the linesman here, he was referee of the first game. Colin Coughlin showing and asking for the puck out as Dermot Burns with a short one. A lot of steps there. Referee Stapleton allowing it. Aidan O'Connor wins his own ball, but is he hooked? He is, and the ball skews off the stick of Aidan O'Connor. But good work rate from the Ballybrown forwards as Mark Carmody feels the effects of that one.
Yeah, I think that's what Ballybrown need to do. Put serious pressure on the Patrickswell backs when they don't have the ball, and try to get turnovers and see what comes of them.
Burns vacates 6 and kind of goes out towards 7, sends it into Kevin O'Brien. Real pacey forward is O'Brien. O'Brien off the left, and O'Brien's effort though has also sailed out to the side as again another restart here for Ballybrown. We've one minor difficulty here in the commentary box, but nevertheless 5 wides for Patrickswell as O'Reilly sends it out to Kiley. Has to lovely touch from him, and Kiley in place in the head of the injured Kevin Foster, but his effort, his delivery is just going to skew away from Ross Griffin, or Ross Kenny I should say, mixing up my two Rosses. As a line ball for Patrickswell, but again it's a little bit slow so far to build this one. As Evan Fitzgerald, a new face in the Ballybrown ranks. He transferred in, I think, this season, Barry, didn't he? So
yeah,
a welcome addition.
A welcome addition to Patrickswell, and had a fantastic league. And he actually got injured. He's only back in the last few matches, but he seems to be finding his feet now in senior championship hurling with Patrickswell. Yeah,
as Ballybrown look to find their feet here. Luke O'Connor has been one of their scorers in chief so far this season. Luke O'Connor, that's a fine effort, and he gets amongst it. Son of the great Ollie, and his brother Barry also amongst the Ballybrown panel. He's on the bench this afternoon. Gets Ballybrown motoring into it. Again, Carmody receives the sharp puck out. Ballybrown again peeling for steps against Carmody as he just carries it nonchalantly up the field. Here is O'Brien. This is Tom O'Brien. O'Brien off the edge of the D. Where's that going? It hits the post, I think, and eventually finds its way over. Yeah, goes barreling through the posts as Tom O'Brien quickly extends the lead for Patrickswell. It was just a bit too easy from Ballybrown's point of view.
It was a good score by Tom, but Mark Carmody had acres of space and had time to look up and pick his man out, and if Ballybrown want to win this game, they're going to have to put serious pressure on the Patrickswell backs.
Colin Coughlin is in amongst the 3 Patrickswell men there, and again the ball spills out over the line, but this time it goes in favour of the 20-time champions, as Fitzgerald played his club hurling in Clare previously. Cuts it across the field looking for space and looking for Cian Fitzgerald, not a name we've mentioned too many times so far. Gives it to Dermot Burns. Speaking of hurlers of the year, there's one, the reigning one, and he gives it back inside to Kevin O'Brien, and Burns is going to arrow one from his own half. We've seen that somewhere before, and Dermot Burns clears the net up into the terrace. That'll tell you the length in the strike there And it's double scores here after a dozen minutes.
I think it's well documented that Dermot has that in his locker. Anything within 100 yards, he's quite capable of nailing it over the bar, as he did on that occasion.
Lovely ball down and toss it. Ross Griffin puts it on to Hurley, breaking away here. Griffin flicks it beyond Carmody. Oh, lovely stuff from Aidan O'Connor to read it. Gives it back to Colin Coughlin. Will he plant the feet? He just skips away. And there's a nod from one umpire to the other. Colin Coughlin has a second, and Ballybrown reply well to that fine Dermot Byrne score with a fine point of their own from another county man.
Yeah, Ross Griffin did well there again. That's 2 balls now. He's won a free with one and one from a puck out and set up a lovely score there.
Where's that going? It's going to the right and wide, and he's done that throughout this championship. He's just called his brother, says, here, put it down on the kind of 12 spot, the half forward line, and I'll take it. He did that there. He'd no real pressure on him, but the effort not his finest, but it's a good tactic under a bit of pressure.
It is definitely. He's a quality hurler, obviously, but what he can do, he can win his own ball. He's quite comfortable under a high ball, under a puck out, so he's a good option for Patrickswell if you need to bring him out the field to win a puck out.
Josh Adams in towards Ross Griffin, but just breaks away by a Patrickswell stick. Burns has to go back towards his own goal. A hand pass, not the best one, and James Carrick comes away with his brother is the sub goalkeeper. That's Adam. Has ball sent inside there. Stevie O'Reilly and Jordan Higgins going for it. It's going to be a free out. Jordan Higgins protests his innocence, but I think 6-1 there, to be fair.
6-1 is right, but it was probably a bit of a free, all right. But look, Ballybrown has settled right into this game now. There's 2 points in it. I suppose not a warning for Patrickswell, but a positive for Ballybrown is that Keane. We haven't mentioned Keane too often yet either, but it was the same against Kilmallock. He went in for the first 10 minutes and then he stormed into it with an unbelievable goal and was outstanding for the rest of the game. So early days, but not much separated teams.
Yeah, that goal in Cappamore was something else, wasn't it? Picked out the top corner from 30 yards against a goalkeeper like Barry Hennessy. It's no mean feat.
PlayStation stuff.
That's it. PlayStation footballers, they say sometimes, but PlayStation hurlers is the ball goes long. Coughlin and Burns tangle, but Coughlin's going to get it here off Aidan O'Connor, blocked down by Burns. Got up the left hand with the hurley in it, gets the block, and crucially Patrickswell get the possession off the back of it as Jack Kelleher is met by Ross Griffin. Referee allowing this one develop. Again, another Patrickswell man ends up in the turf as Kevin O'Brien hand passes it off to Lynch to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald's going to open up the shoulders here and he's going to arrow one straight up the middle. He is indeed, and it's going to go straight between the posts as Evan Fitzgerald gets his first and gets Patrickswell marginally. A goal to the good now. Good
score by Evan. Again, good work right on the middle from the Patrickswell half forward line, and great vision by Keane to pick out Evan and over the bar.
Ballybrown working well. David Hartnett with all the time in the middle of the field, and David Hartnett, the umpires are going to consult. His effort has swung very much left and wide, and a fort for Ballybrown as Jason Gallan wastes no time, gets on with it, looks for big brother as Kylie and Gallan tangle. Josh Adams dislocated his elbow last season and has to wear that support on the right arm. Does well to find Coughlin. Coughlin looks for the runner, and in fact he looks for the post, and Colin Coughlin is at a third. It is, and Colin Coughlin is showing what he's about. We know him of course as a wing back for Limerick, but Ballybrown want to use him further up the pitch and they're getting some dividend out of him.
Very versatile. I'd say he could play anywhere, but he's causing problems for Patrickswell now already.
As they go long towards O'Brien. This is Tom O'Brien. Escapes one challenge, escapes another. O'Brien, is he going to go for a goal here? Is he going to pop it off? Gives it off to John Kirby. Kirby with a bit of pressure, looping effort. Good pressure from Ballybrown there. As the goalkeeper clears and slips. That's Josh O'Reilly. Did well with the dropping ball. Doolan is fouled by Fitzgerald. Ballybrown are going to have a chance here to launch another attack as the man on the deck is John Kirby. Looks in a bit of discomfort there, Barry. Yeah,
he seems to have hurt himself. All right, he got I think there was a belt down the hand he got, but half a goal opportunity, I suppose. The pass was a bit high to John. He had to turn back in, but
he had to put the brakes on, really, didn't he?
Yeah,
didn't
but
take any stride.
Nonetheless, it was still good defended by Ballybrown. There was 4 around him. He couldn't get a shot off, so good defended by Ballybrown. Soft enough free given away there by Evan. I don't think there was really need to do it, and gives Ballybrown an opportunity now to put the ball over the bar from long range.
Yeah, Josh Adams, and he's not really looking at that. I think he's going to arrow one towards Coughlin, who's 1-on-1 inside, grappling in the air. Does well despite the pull to grapple it. Coughlin has to drop it. Advantage is coming, and Coughlin does also well there. I think it was James Carrick, was it, wearing the number 2 that was marking him? It could be a mistake in my corner backs there, but Coughlin did well in the air. There was a ferocious enough pull.
It was.
But managed to gather it and was fouled on the second attempt.
Yeah,
so
Coughlin is definitely causing trouble for Patrickswell. You know, he's a serious ball winner. That ball was left 1-on-1 with
Nigel Foley, in fact.
Foley, yeah. Fair pull thereabouts. Went through, won the free. He's a bit of a handful, definitely, at the moment.
Yeah, Nigel Foley didn't play in the earlier rounds, but back in the side the last time out.
No, Nigel, he had a hamstring injury. He was out for supposed to be 2 weeks. It turned into a few months, but good to see him back out in the field again. He's been full back for the last few years, but they're trying him to half back line now. See how he gets on.
Yeah, Aidan O'Connor with that free brings us back to the minimum, and this game is starting to simmer nicely as the ball goes long. It's Kevin O'Brien there. He's met, chased by David Hartnett. O'Brien, we mentioned his pace a couple of minutes ago. O'Brien arrows one across. Josh Adams gets a hurley to it, and Old Fashioned just pulls away, and Ballybrown have numbers there. Sheehan, Mark Sheehan gives it to Luke O'Connor. He gives it to Colin Coughlin, and again now Ballybrown starting to find their bit of quality. Aidan puts the brakes on. Familiar post from him, and Aidan O'Connor is going to level this one up here at the Gaelic ground. 7 each. A well-worked score from Ballybrown.
Beautiful score to Colin, to Aidan, straight over the bar. Ballybrown are looking good at this moment in time now. Patrickswell seem to be struggling a bit.
3 on the bounce for the men from the smaller side of the parish.
That's right. Game on, as they say.
Game on here, yeah. As Ross Kenny, first real involvement in possession for him. In fact, it's just spilled away. Lee Doolan, a lovely little brick flick from Doolan. And it works its way now to Ross Griffin. He's had a good start to this one. Griffin, though, from the sideline. That's going to sail, and it's going to go to the left and wide. A 5th wide and all for Ballybrown. Both sides. A little bit inaccurate at times as Galan. I think he's going to have a go at the posts here.
He will.
From inside his own 45. Saw the opportunity, but didn't execute it. And those can just take a bit of energy out of your forwards, because they make a run and suddenly the ball isn't coming because guys are shooting from a long way out.
I don't see the point in that myself. You know, you've the hurler of the year and waiting inside the full forward line, and the ball that goes harmlessly wide. It's no advantage to Patrickswell, really.
Yeah, another wide for them as this time Fitzgerald gets the better of Coughlin. Fitzgerald left-sided, sends it into the man we just mentioned. That's Aaron Galan, and he doesn't grasp it. It's sent back across to his own square as the turf is very soft in that corner. And Ballybrown just playing with it here. They're playing with fire. There's a lot of steps from Sheehan. Gives it to Hartnett. They're more or less next door neighbours, the two of them, and Hartnett under very little pressure gets his clearance away, but it's not a good one because Patrickswell have it. Mark Carmody, of course his father Anthony, a great servant to the club down the years, and indeed Limerick in his day as well. As ball now with Evan Fitzgerald, another one from him it is. Fitzgerald and Coughlin having a nice ding dong, and it's Fitzgerald who replies with another one.
Yeah, great scoring in there from Evan. That's his second one, and you know, we're getting points from far out, which is positive, but we haven't created really a good goal chance yet.
Chance now for Mikey Kiley to find Aidan O'Connor. O'Connor goes up. Ross Kenny can't get it under his grasp, and Patrickswell with the numbers. John Flynn, one of the guys in his mid-20s. Flynn sends it off. Arrows it out there. The touch isn't the best from Keane Fitzgerald, and it goes out for a line ball on the far side. But it's, as I say, simmering up nicely. Ballybrown are going to try and want to get their nose in front. Haven't managed to do so yet. Keane Lynch, speaking of getting stuff under spells. Burns jinks out of the tackle, and Dermot Burns has sent that one from the middle of the pitch over the middle of the crossbar. Fine score indeed, despite the protests from the men in white that he took too many steps, but I thought it was fine. Took a nice little jink to get away from the Ballybrown cover. His
second point now. There's 4 points that come from the Patrickswell half back line.
Yeah, they're starting to find their radar. That's no doubt about it. Carmody is there. Is he pulled on? He is. Ballybrown thought there was nothing wrong with it. Just
touch and go. I think. Touch and go.
Just bending his back. Probably had enough down, but Ross Griffin gives away the free. In fairness, not too many protests from Ballybrown. I could see why it was given, as the free is brought forward then for Ballybrown, knocking the ball away, and suddenly the free becomes scoreable, or certainly very, very approachable if you're Dermot Burns.
Yeah, but you'd have to say Ballybrown would be happy with the way things are going. You know, Patrickswell would have been strong favourites. You know, they're 2 points down, 20 minutes into the game, and playing some lovely hurling. So, yeah,
I think Burns just clears his brow, and yeah, mentioned the elements. Chance for Burns as Darragh Drew, one of the Ballybrown management, not happy where it's been taken from. I don't think he realises it was moved up for descent, but as
it's definitely within scoring distance for Diarmid anyway, and on his own 45-yard line he should definitely have the distance, whether he'll have the accuracy or not.
Yeah, there's a swirling breeze. The tricolour behind the goals is blowing maybe to the right, so he'll want to aim this towards the left post, but who am I to tell him as Burns' effort, well, it does go all the way right and indeed wide. As it's at 7 now wides for Patrickswell. Their accuracy certainly not where it should be in a game of such epic proportions. As Jordan Higgins gets back into it, he catches the puck out, gives it to Kevin O'Brien. O'Brien looking for the return. Oh, Nick Quinn off the hurley. Everyone scrambling looking for it. Chance now for O'Brien. O'Brien puts it back into the paw. O'Brien, what's he going to do? Is he going to go for goal after hurling? It is! Tom O'Brien fires it to the back of the net. Cut through the Ballybrown defence.
Great goal by Tom, cut through the Ballybrown defence, as you said. Got through it a little bit easy. Everyone seemed to stop there all of a sudden and let him off and see where the shot ended up. But it ended up in the bottom corner. Yeah,
it went from just outside the 45 as Ballybrown looked to reply. Ross Griffin has showed well, gives it to Colin Coughlin. Coughlin slips. Does he trip? He does. Accidentally, or otherwise he put Jack Gallagher on the turf. And a big hammer blow for Ballybrown. What a goal though from Tom O'Brien.
Great goal from Tom. That gives Patrickswell now a little bit of breathing space. Little bit of breathing space. Be interesting now to see how Ballybrown react to that.
6 minutes, as you can see on your screens there, to the break. Burns, as he rectified the radar, he sends this one though to the left, and far from me to be critical of Dermot Burns, but his radar in some of the other games, a lot of games, hasn't. Bear in mind he's 120 odd metres from goals, but hasn't been maybe as perfect as we'd expect. But Carmody fouls Coughlin, and Ballybrown not happy with that. But Colin Coughlin is going to send it over. That's a good reply.
That's a great score,
and it's another one for him. It's a fourth.
Yeah, advantage was played. It was a late challenge there by Mark, but Colin didn't dwell on it, got up with it all over the bar. That's the way to reply to it.
Exactly, yeah. Far from Colin to be looking for frees, but Mark Carmody goes into the book, crucially, one of the full back line, or maybe he's gone out to half back now to Mark Colin, but he's on a yellow, so Andy Brown will want to see how far he's willing to go, as Mikey Kiley is going to be underneath this puck out, who just skims after Hurley. Back to O'Reilly. And O'Reilly towards Coughlin. They're looking for him at every opportunity. So far it's has worked to a degree as Mikey Kiley gets it off Colin Coughlin. That effort though is going to go short, and Galan can basically have another puck out here as he launches it from the edge of the the penalty spot, really, as sent in towards Aaron Galan. Aaron Galan is fouled by Stevie O'Reilly.
Yes, Stevie all over him there, definite free, but I think Patrickswell need to get a bit more ball into full forward line. You know, Aaron, if he doesn't win himself, the likelihood is he will be fouled, and so the more ball he get in top of him, the better, I think, for Patrickswell at this stage. And
the fouls then, well, of course, if they come, they'll start to add up for Ballybrown, not only on the score sheet, but maybe in the referee's notebook too.
But I think Patrickswell would like to have a nice bit of a lead. There is a strong wind there that they have in the first half, which Ballybrown will obviously have in the second half, so it's probably a 4 or 5 point lead, so Patrickswell will want to tag on a few scores now before half time.
Yeah, Galan gets his second from a place ball. And these sides, well, they met in the 2016 final, met in this stage in 2017, draw the first day, but Patrickswell, the second day, were winners. Ross Griffin sent off for Ballybrown the first half, perhaps crucially that day, but Patrickswell advanced, so they know what it's about to meet in knockout stages. I think Keane Lynch has picked it up off the ground.
Yeah, free there.
And a free for Ballybrown as they look to just stem the Patrickswell flow. I think that's what, 1-4 out of the last 1-5. So Aidan O'Connor has a chance to send this one over. Darragh Drew in with a hurley for him.
Yeah, again, a nice distance out. It's 90 yards out, but again, well within his distance, I'd say. So it's a matter of accuracy.
O'Connor, his father Joe would have played with Limerick, of course, in the 90s, played in the 94 final. And O'Connor lifts on his own 65 and sends it to the right though. That's half a dozen now for the men from Clorina as Jason Gallan again gets his puck out of the way with ease to James Carrick. Carrick sends this one down the line. Cian Fitzgerald, the boys have to put the brakes on. The Wolf Tones efforts on the pitch still there to be seen a couple of weeks later, as is the lot of the rain we've seen the last 2 days. Jack Kelleher opens out the shoulders from his own 65. The second he hit it, he turned away in disgust, and it is another wide now for Patrickswell. Ballybrown goes short again. A lot of short puck outs from both sides as Mikey Kiley under a little bit of pressure, and his effort is just a little bit lethargic at this point.
Yeah, there isn't a whole lot of space inside in the Patrickswell full forward line, so Patrickswell seem to be forced to go from shots from distance. They're threading up a lot of wides now. So
Ross Griffin misses it. Kevin O'Brien is in amongst it. Oh, they do well. This is Kenny Power playing advantage, spills the ball, and I suppose bailed out by the referee's whistle in a way. Aidan O'Connor now, he had one from almost the same position a couple of minutes ago. You'll see the flags on the very far side there, just blowing left to right. As I said, like show you the breeze that's behind them. The breezes don't win games, as we well know, but it certainly can help, especially from long range shooting.
And it definitely makes it harder for you. You know, he's 75 yards out into a stiff wind, but we'll see they learn from the last one now.
Yeah, it wasn't too far away. It was to the right, if you recall, a minute ago. So after today, we're down to just 3 Limerick senior hurling games, as O'Connor, as he got this one right, he has. No, in fact, he hasn't. Thought the umpire was putting out the right hand, but he puts out both hands. Another wide for Ballybrown. The free's not going to plan for either side, really. The long range ones, that is, anyway, as Gallan fires that one looking for Aaron, and it's picked up by Cian Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald ends up with 2 Ballybrown men on the turf. Fitzgerald's effort tentatively firing it across the goal, but firing it wide. Yeah,
I think shooting wouldn't be Cian's main thing. You know, I think he played the early championship matches. He played half back and played quite well in them. But with Nigel back, he's been moved into the half forward line. He'd probably more naturally a half back.
Ned Quinn can't get it for Ballybrown. Kevin O'Brien can get it for the well. He's playing advantage here. Aaron Gallan kicks it away. He's going to get it back. He's going to have loads of time here to do what he wants. Is he going to bear down a goal? He's going to go for a point. I think sensibly so he will. And Aaron Gallan gets a first from play. And suddenly they've moved out to a 6-point margin.
Yeah, a 6-point margin coming up to half time. What are we now? 30 minutes up. But
yeah, we're just into a minute additional. I just saw it was indicated beneath us by Patsy Coffey. So who can finish it with the last score? As Ballybrown goes searching for it, but Burns is underneath it. Coughlin was jostling in front of him. Oh, Coughlin does very well to get around. Advantage coming. He'll give it out to Aidan O'Connor, who was going to fire a shot, but back we come for the free.
Yeah, Coughlin is definitely the go-to guy. He's been immense today. You know, he scored 4 points. He's won a couple of frees, and he's keeping Ballybrown really in it.
Yeah, 6 down. And hopefully, from their point of view, we'll be back to 5 here. But as I said, we're just down to 3 games after this afternoon. Semi-final between the winners of this and Kilmallock, and a semi-final between Doon and the Piershig to come in a fortnight's time. And then the final, of course, as well, as O'Connor lifts and strike outside the 45. The umpire, what does he think of it? He likes it. And Ballybrown do get another point back. They've just 2 points in the last 10 minutes or so of play. And there is the half-time whistle here at the 2 Gaelic grounds. It's Patrickswell going on 11-9 up, and Barry Patrickswell probably playing in fits and starts, but they got that goal crucially through Tom O'Brien. It was a fine individual effort, and that kind of in a lot of ways is the difference between these two teams.
Yeah, definitely. I think Ballybrown will actually be happy enough. You know, as we referenced the win, there is a strong will down the field, only 5 points in it. I suppose Patrickswell's perspective, they haven't played particularly well. 4 their points have come from the half back line, 2 from Evan and 2 from Diarmid and 1 from Jack Kelleher, so they haven't been getting a whole lot of ball into the forwards. Now Tom O'Brien did get a fantastic goal, but Ballybrown has to be happy, you know, to come out in the second half 5 points down with a strong wind, and they've everything to play for, really.
Yeah, well, we'll take a short break here on Limerick GA TV. We'll advise you to do the same and join us again for the second half very shortly. Galan, little hand pass. Fitzgerald, another one from him it is. Fitzgerald and Cock. Speaking of getting stuff under spells, Burns jinks out of the tackle, and Dermot Burns sent that one from the middle of the pitch. Nick Quinn after Hurley. Everyone scrambling looking for it. Chance now for O'Brien. O'Brien puts it back into the paw. O'Brien, what's he going to do? Is he going to go for goal after Hurley? It is! Tom O'Brien fires it to the back of the net. Cut you'd expect, but Carmody fouls Coughlin, and Ballybrown not happy with that, but Colin Coughlin is going to send it over. That's a good reply. Goal. He's going to go for a point, I think sensibly so he will. And Aaron Galan gets a first from play. And suddenly the horse as well as O'Connor lifts and strike outside the 45. The umpire, what does he think of it? He likes it. And Ballybrown at him. Yeah, I keep getting it. Kieran, I'm getting your voicemail. We're good to go. And we're back underway here at the TUS Gaelic grounds. Patrickswell leading Ballybrown as Cian Lynch looked to escape the clutches there, but a goal and 11-9 as Lynch gets on it again. What can he do here? He's going to sensibly take the point and open Patrickswell's account for the second half. And Barry, Patrickswell would just want to keep the foot on Ballybrown's throat and just try and build that lead as the second half goes.
Definitely, yeah, a great score there by Keane, but I see the Keane's been moved in centre forward. Nigel Foley's gone up to midfield and they've moved Cian Lynch back to half back. So yeah, Patrickswell want to keep the foot on the pedal now. In previous matches going through the championship, they seem to slacken off midway through it, so they just need to keep the pressure on Ballybrown and keep the scoreboard ticking over.
Yeah, they're good. They might do so here again as Jack Kelleher gets it, skips away from Mikey Gavin. Lovely ball for Jordan Higgins. 2 points early in the piece. Not seen too much of him since, but there's the third from Higgins, and Lynch and Higgins straight away building the lead here for the Well.
Yeah, similar to the start of the first half. Patrickswell up with 2 quick points, and see how Ballybrown react to that now.
As ball goes long there, Ned Quinn, who's playing further up the field for Ballybrown. Quinn from the sideline, that's a dangerous one. Galan just gets a hurley to it, flicks it away, ends up on the deck. Aidan O'Connor, wise to go with 2 hands there. O'Connor jinks away, will he go for goal? Spills it and it's kicked out for 65. But it was a dangerous one from Ned Quinn. I think he was going for a point, but
a dangerous ball in around the square, and any time a ball is dropping in around the square like that is dangerous.
Especially with the sun, I'd say, in his eyes. Yeah.
He dropped it and panicked a bit, and there was half a goal chance on. I think Ballybrown definitely need a goal at some stage during this match, so any chance they get up around there, they're going to have to take it.
Yeah, it's unlikely they'll point their way to victory. No changes that we were made aware of. I don't see any anyway in the Ballybrown team or indeed the Patrickswell team.
No, just that positional change of Keane Fitz there. He's played half back for most of the championship. He was only moved up to the forwards for the Kilmallock match, so I prefer to see him playing back there for Patrickswell in the half back line.
Yeah, so the 2 number 12s will battle for now anyway on the left half back for Patrickswell.
And to be fair to Ross Griffin, he did cause problems in the first half.
He did indeed, as O'Connor sends that effort to the right and wide, and there was mentions at half time of who is the Ballybrown free taker between Josh Adams taking the long ones and him, but there's also Andrew Cliff on the bench as well, so let's see what they do with the tide as this one goes on. Ball underneath Doolan, gets in front of Lynch. Quinn can't pick it. Nigel Foley sensibly back to Fitzgerald, and Fitzgerald put it into space as Cian Lynch escapes Sheehan. Lynch does well, doesn't even want to think about going for a score of his own, sends it back to John Kirby, and Kirby, as easy as you like, puts another dagger in the Ballybrown hearts, and another score on the board here.
Yeah, it's a worrying for Ballybrown now to start the second half. Cian Lynch has come right into it. He's a point on the board already, and he's after setting up a score there for John Kirby.
Ballybrown go long with the puck out. Aidan O'Connor beneath it. Mikey Gavin can pick it. Needs to race through here. He's out of catches. What can he do? Sends it off to Luke O'Connor. O'Connor bearing down a goal. Luke O'Connor back in the net. And Ballybrown back in the game with a goal from Luke O'Connor. Good play from Mikey Gavin. Calls the steps on the way through, but he does well. And a nice close control from Luke O'Connor and a good finish, Barry.
Great play and a great finish, and he was under severe pressure, but that's what I was saying. When you get chances like that, especially when you're the underdog, you have to take them to keep yourself in the game, and that's exactly what Luke O'Connor did there. Great goal. Yeah,
we mentioned needing a goal. Well, there's one. They may yet need another as this one goes on. Cian Lynch again, the target is puck out. Ned Quinn amongst it, as Quinn does well to get a hurley around there. Ross Griffin does well, keeps it in play, flicks it away and ends up on the deck, but suddenly now the game has sparked into life. Nigel Foley is pressured as Dermot Burns ends up on the deck. He's fouled there by Ross Kenny, and a free out coming for the Well as Nigel Foley and Ross Kenny get to know each other.
Yeah, a bit of pushing and shoving, no harm in that whatsoever.
The Foleys, the Kennys, the Careys, these names we've associated with this rivalry down the years. O'Connors as well from the Ballybrown side, so as I say, getting to know each other, they definitely know each other, but as Patrickswell look to steady their ship after the concession of that goal. But as you were at the interval, 5 points in it.
But that goal is a big score for Ballybrown, you know, give them a bit of belief and keeps them in the game. Patrickswell were beginning to turn the screw a little bit, so that goal has given Ballybrown a little bit of belief.
Chance now for Burns deep in his own half. doesn't get it right, but it finds its way to a teammate. That's Kevin O'Brien, and O'Brien angles it towards Galan. Josh Adams does well, gives it to Mikey Kiley, and Ballybrown just with that little bit of pressure as Kiley and Galan just interchange between us. Ball goes long towards Aidan O'Connor, can't gather it, and there's just a little high challenge there from Aidan O'Connor. And Ballybrown, I think crucially, Barry, need probably to just tack on another point or two after that goal just to really get a bit of momentum behind them.
Definitely need a couple of scores, but good play there from Josh Adams. Normally you see Galan there in behind the defender. He normally catches him, so good play. So
he must be the best in the game at the moment at that. It's wonder how he does it. I saw him doing it against the Piercic the first night out as well. Just almost like picking a pocket really of a player from behind, but couldn't do it there. And there's a foul out there. Lee Doolan is tripped, but yeah, just to bring that up again, he's so good from behind, and it's not often you see players that are really strong at that.
No, and 90% of the time he win it, but when he's landing, he's turned on his left side and ready to either run or shoot. So he's after a fine art.
And he has the pace as well, of course, to pull away from opponents, and then the skill to execute the shot. As Lee Doolan receives a little bit of treatment, as you can see there. But no inroads yet on that half-time advantage of 5 points. The meetings going on the sideline. Ballybrown four-pronged approach. There, Drew there, Colm Coughlin, Harry Gleeson, the team manager, and Shane McGrath, of course, formerly of Tipperary, the Ballinhinch man. They're all in consultation beneath there, and it'll be wonder what message Dara Droog is bringing in there. But that goal from Luke O'Connor just bringing this game back to life.
Definitely did, yeah. He keeps Ballybrown definitely in it, and they're probably in the rights now. They can have a few pot shots from 50, 60 yards out, 70 yards out maybe with that wind, and try and keep the scoreboard ticking over. But yeah, it's very much game on.
So here's O'Reilly. His brother has actually played for Patrickswell as well, as he sends it down, looking towards Colin Coughlin, and his touch just well read by the man with 3 points. That's Jordan Higgins, and there's a foul there by, I think it was John Kirby.
A good play by Mikey Kyler, just got out in front and just kind of forced the free.
As Ballybrown protesting about the ball being flicked away, and Colin Coughlin from his own 45 is going to try and launch one. Just two men from Ballybrown inside. That's Ross Kenny and Aidan O'Connor. Two men that have won minor titles at this club with under 18, and then under 19 level. And the under 21 winners last season. Colin Coughlin was one of the main men on that. And Colin Coughlin, what's he done with that? Oh yes, from his own 45, Colin Coughlin gets his fifth, and a first from a free. So I wonder, is that the solution to the long range frees for Ballybrown?
Yeah, but the wind is strong enough to be going for from the. It's a high risk free to take when you're that far out, but high risk, big reward.
They're big boosts when they go over as well. As Doolan and Lynch lock here as the ball skips away for David Hartnett. Just gets a pass off to Josh Adams, met by Jordan Higgins, and Higgins pulls up a little bit lame after that. There was an awful clash there, and don't think there was much that Mark Sheehan did wrong. Just cleared his lines and blindsided by, I think it's John Kerr. In fact, sorry, it's Tom O'Brien.
Tom O'Brien. I think Tom just slid in to block him and to follow through, got him in the helmet. It was definitely no intent in it, but a sore one nonetheless.
Yeah. So we'll see what we're going to resume with up there. Ballybrown were the last team to play it. Dermot Burns is saying that I have the ball. Well, of course you do, Dermot. You walked over after the whistle, but let's see what the referee does. Maybe a throw ball, because there was no clear possession of it up here. If anything, it'll be Ballybrown's possession, I feel, but no one was in possession is the call from the referee. I think that's good. So it's going to be a throw ball up here. I think that's good officiating, in fairness to him. If we give Ballybrown a distinct advantage if they had an indirect free, and indeed you'd be given one to Patrickswell to clear their lines, but
that's it. Throw him in, let him at it.
Let him at it, yeah. Ed Shanahan, the hurley maker in Ballybrown, he could be busy man after this one, as two of them go swinging for it, as Burns ends up on the floor, but Fitzgerald, not seen much of him since the interval, kicks it away to Aidan O'Connor, puts plenty of sky on that, but it's not going to go anywhere near. That's a disappointing effort from him. It's just a snapshot and a second wide in this second half for Ballybrown.
Very ambitious. I see Patrick Kirby warming up there for Patrickswell on the sideline. He might be coming in very shortly.
Yeah, from the same stable, of course, as John, brothers indeed, and sons of the great Gary. Ballybrown win another free out, and just a lack of scoring in the last few minutes. Well, you have that 1-1 without reply for Ballybrown, but Patrickswell struggling to really find their feet and their forwards since that glut of 3 points, which Cian Lynch had his fingerprints all over. Lynch, Higgins and then Kirby, you'll recall, to start this second half, as Coughlin, you can nearly tell by the noise after Hurley, didn't catch it as sweet as the last one. Ross Kenny tries to go up for Ballybrown, doesn't get it. Blocked down is Mark Carmody. Carmody does well. Nice little clever flick from James Carrick, just gets it out towards the sideline, and the ball carried away now by John Flynn. Scored a goal last time out against Palace-Kenry, and a point against against Kilmarnock the day before, so has played up the field as Colin Coughlin breaks it for himself, just about stays inside the whitewash as Coughlin from the sideline. Ross Kenny 1-on-1 inside. Kenny has the bigger side there, and that's an awful pull from Ross Kenny. I think he was eyes for the ball, and he has broken. Well, has he broken Hurley? He hasn't. He's come away from it. Going to be yellow for Ross Kenny.
Yeah, I don't think there was much intent in it, but it was a dangerous ball in. 2 men contesting the high ball, and it just broke, and he let fly in it. Return title doing around the square. I don't think it was that deliberate, but definitely a free out nonetheless.
Yeah, chance now for Patrickswell to clear the lines as the sub comes in, as Barry was alluding to. Patrick Kirby is ready, and he's come in for Nigel Foley. So Nigel not too long back from that hamstring problem, so in he comes, out he goes, and in goes the other man of the Kirbys, Patrick Kirby.
Yeah, Patrick Kirby is a good hurler coming in. He's fierce pace, and he has been out for the last few weeks with a hamstring injury again as well, so it'll be interesting to see how he gets on.
Gillan showing no ill effects from that little challenge with Ross Kenny, sends it long. Cian Lynch is in there, Lee Doolan is in there for Ballybrown, who's going to come up with possession. All of these possessions you feel crucial now at this third quarter. Gillan is in there, David Hartnett disrupts him. Lynch, as he always does, manages to pick it up in such minimal space, sends it across towards Kelleher, the vice captain of his team, sends it back forward I should say, to Burns, and he goes back to Fitzgerald. He's looking for a third. Fitzgerald, that is sailing though to the right and wide, and both teams struggling at times with the long range shooting. Josh Adams pulls out to the left wing back to get it, and straight away we're back on it. Adams, that's looking good. Barry's nodding his head, he thinks that's going over. Indeed it is.
Lovely score.
And we're going to have a sub beneath us as Barry Adams, 5 goals in the championship so far. He's coming in to make his mark. Josh Adams with the latest effort for Ballybrown. His cousin now coming into it. Barry, they don't make him small in the Adams household.
They're big men.
As in he comes, Ross Kenny, unsurprisingly maybe after receiving that yellow card. They're taking no chances with that one, and maybe just didn't go his way. Worked extremely hard in the forwards, but just probably outnumbered at times, and Ross comes off, and in goes Barry Adams. Barry Adams to left wing forward, and Ballybrown now with their 2 inter-county men in the inside line. That's Colin Coughlin and Aidan O'Connor. Barry Adams straight away with the dispossession. What can he do here? He's looking for a score. He's just a little bit off balance. That's going to go close. Kept inside. Well, it's not. It's knocked out for a 65, and straight away Barry Adams gets a shot. A little bit off balance with the effort, but gets a little bit of consolation prize of a 65.
Good contribution straight away from Barry. Jason Gillan should have probably done a bit better with it, but it's out for 65, and another opportunity for Ballybrown to
just bring it back. Yeah, it's back to a 1-score game now. Bring it back to 2 points now, even. So as Eamon Kelly just trots on and gives some instructions to Cian Lynch, 2-time hurler of the year. Could be a bizarre scenario. Well, most likely there'll be 4 hurler of the year gongs in Patrickswell from just 3 players, as O'Connor, 1 sock up, 1 sock down. There's the roars from behind him. They liked it straight away. O'Connor likes it too. Ballybrown back to 2 points. And suddenly that's 1-3 without reply. Patrickswell needs something here, Barry.
Yeah, Patrickswell are struggling, especially in the half forward line. They seem to be finding it hard to break down the Ballybrown half back line. So Patrickswell definitely under a bit of pressure. Ballybrown playing the better hurling at this stage.
Kirby sends it across. And it's flicked. There's going to be a chance here for Colin Coughlin. Has the space. Coughlin. Burns chasing him. Coughlin. Well hooked. But combination of Carmody and Burns just did enough. That was a real chance. I bet you won't get it back again. Look at a flick from Aidan O'Connor. Luke O'Connor tipped over the bar. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing that one back there. I've just missed it on our own replay screen here, but the flick from Aidan to Luke, and Luke just about had the legs on it, sends it over the bar. And
but definitely a goal chance. Colin possibly took the wrong option. Barry Adams had moved inside, a little flick pass over to him, and he certainly would have had a shot on goal. But nonetheless, to get a point over, bring the deficit back to a point. And at this stage of the game, Ballybrown seem to be well on top.
Jason Gallan is in a bit of discomfort inside there, so he's gone in, or the physio I should say has gone into him. And the cynic in me suggests that he's just stifling the momentum of Ballybrown here, but nevertheless he did pick up a bit of a blow a few minutes ago. His ankle seems to be the issue there. Mauro D, the physio, in treating him.
He looks to be in a little bit of distress, alright, but you
the spray is out, yeah. But it would be a big blow to lose him anyway at this point. But 113, reminder, Patrickswell led after the first 3 points of the second half, 114 to just 9 points. So 1-4 to no score, and they have come.
I think this game kind of reflects the way Patrickswell have been playing all year. You know, they're kind of playing in fits and starts, and again, it's very similar today.
As Doolan and Lynch contest, I think that's a fair observation. As Josh Adams and Lynch go for it, Adams does well. Gallan disrupts him. O'Reilly though is in there for Ballybrown, and Gallan, unlike him normally, just pulls on it. And Ballybrown again putting a lot of pressure on the shooter as Mikey Gavin the shot is there. The shot is good from Cian Fitzgerald. It was Mikey Gavin looking to deny him, and suddenly the momentum is stifled.
Yeah, Patrickswell needed that score. I think Cian Fitz definitely more natural in the half-back position and got his opportunity in over the bar, but Patrickswell needed that score badly.
Aidan O'Connor with advantage coming, sends it across to Mikey Gav, sensibly going to go for a point here. Where does he send that? Oh, he sends it right and wide, and Ballybrown had the advantage from the pass. The advantage was then over, and crucially they put it wide.
That would have been a great reply from Ballybrown, and it should have been a score. He should have nailed that one.
Yeah, 2 points in it. Cian Fitzgerald's effort just putting that back amongst it. Ballybrown yet to lead in this contest, so they'll be hoping to just get their nose in front at the right time as Lee Doolan goes in foraging for it. Gallan starting to show a little bit deeper for the ball. Well marshalled by Stevie O'Reilly. Well played there by Mikey Gavin. Josh Adams gets the break. Adams is going to flick it away. Is not. He sends it now to Luke O'Connor under pressure from Burns. Luke O'Connor out of a couple of challenges. Gets his free there. Dermot Burns completely protests his innocence. And
but again, that's come from great work for the Ballybrown half-back line. Great battling, great chasing, taking balls off Cian Lynch and Aaron Gallan.
Yeah, don't give those guys clean possession. It's an obvious enough thing to say, but
it is. But
it makes it so difficult then, especially in these kind of soft foot, underfoot conditions as well.
But you have to keep putting pressure on these boys and turn it over, and great free one then.
As Josh Considine has been prepared beneath us. I think he got about 9-10 minutes against Gillon Palace-Kenry, and did see him at a couple of games going through his own routines, building himself back up to fitness. I think it was a hamstring issue, as Barry was just telling me before the game. So yeah, he'll be hoping that those injuries are behind him.
Yeah, definitely. He's definitely been out for the bones of a few months. So that as you said, that was his first match back last week. But when he's right, he'd be a big addition to this Patrickswell team.
Aidan O'Connor knocks over another. Here comes Josh Considine. Jack Kelleher is going to hobble off the field. Good shift from Jack around the middle. So Josh Considine in straight on top of Mikey Gavin, and Considine, another one of those players who probably lives in the divide, if you like, in the parish between where players will play for one club or the other. It's a very unofficial line, but
Brown could claim him. But
that's it. There's players like that on both sides, isn't there? Yeah,
definitely. But definitely look again there, Ballybrown, the half-back line. They're winning all these key battles now. So I mean, the change that Patrickswell have made with Josh Considine, he's a very physical player, so they'll be hoping he can kind of stem the tide there on that one, and let his physicality kind of help Patrickswell get through this defence, this Ballybrown half-back line. Yeah,
and if you're wondering where you'd heard that name before, if you're neutral watching this one, this is, of course, member of the Limerick panel a couple of years ago, during the COVID year. I think it was the main year that Josh was on it. So right. Good to see him back at some bit of glorious full health, as Aidan O'Connor from his own half. And the sides are level here at the Gaelic Grounds. Aidan O'Connor has definitely found the radar since half time. Another one for him. Ballybrown with all the momentum. 7 of the last 8 scores, including that Luke O'Connor goal to start it all off. As ball is there, O'Connor looked to flick towards Sheehan, but they're in amongst it again. Skirmish balls, they're difficult ones to win. Anyone want to rise it? Shane McGrath is encouraging his charges beneath us. Who's going to come up with it? Hartnett is in there for Ballybrown. No, just misses it there. 3 Patrickswell men with him. Loads of little hands and backs and all that. But eventually Patrickswell come up with it. Lynch is there. Well done from Kenny Power. And Power sends a hand pass backwards. Mikey Kiley there. Cian Lynch somehow flicks it away from himself. Lynch sends it back inside. It's going to be there. Luke O'Connor is there. There's just a hurley was played. I think it was Ned Quinn on Tom O'Brien. And after all that, it's going to be a free in and a tap over score for Patrickswell. Again, Ballybrown not going to go ahead. Patrickswell are going to get their nose back in front.
I know, but a little bit more aggression there from the Patrickswell half forward line. I thought the last 3 or 4 times there was skirmishes there. Ballybrown had come out with a ball. Finally, Ballybrown had broken the Ballybrown half back line and got in for what you'd imagine be a handy free for Aaron Gallan.
Yeah. Kevin Foster has come into the Ballybrown team. I did mention illness earlier. He looked in trouble earlier in the week, but he's come in for Mikey Gavin. So Kevin Foster in wearing number 2, so he didn't start, but he's in now as Gallan lines up the free, and no thoughts of a goal from there. And he did score a goal direct from a free against Doon much earlier in the championship, but today is knockout hurling as Ballybrown go long with the puck out. Everyone jostling for position in there. Kevin Foster gets a flick on it, comes away to Mark Carmody, gives it to Jordan Higgins. He's showed plenty of good stuff so far. Kenny Power blocks him on this occasion though, as again Patrickswell looking to build the lead there, as ball knocked out by off a Patrickswell man, and there's a line ball going in favour of Ballybrown.
Yeah, possibly should have been a free there for Patrickswell, I think, but wasn't
just
given.
a bit of a lazy hurley in from Aidan O'Connor, but he actually it seems to have touched the Patrickswell man last.
Yeah,
so
the Ballybrown line ball.
Every ball is going to be hotly contested. Every decision is going to be criticised from one side or the other. As Damien Gallan goes for a bit of a march down the line here from us. He was protesting that, but line ball for O'Connor. Scuffs it, you can see the turf kicking up there as Foster is in there for Ballybrown. Josh Considine though, he does well and he wins a free. Combinations of I think it was Barry Adam, in fact it was Colin Coughlin and Foster fouling him, and a chance for Burns just to steady things up again. Ballybrown had the momentum when they pulled level, but just haven't been able to get themselves in front. No, they only need to be in front once, I suppose, Barry, but
that's it. But this will be an interesting free now. He's striking it into a breeze, so he possibly won't have the distance with Gallan and Cian Lynch from the edge of the square, so if it drops short, we've 2 good men in around the square there to try and capitalise on something.
As you can see, his own 65 puts it on the hurley, takes it off again, and that one though is sailing to the left and wide. A second wide in this half for the men in blue and gold, and Josh O'Reilly, Limerick under 20 goalkeeper on this season just gone, goes short to the man involved with Conor Rugby in a professional capacity. That's Mikey Kiley, and he sends it off to another one of the elder statesmen of the Ballybrown team. That's Mark Sheehan, and his delivery is there. Barry Adams is there for Ballybrown, breaks nicely for Ross Griffin. Again, just felt like he was digging for it, couldn't get it up, and does well with 2 feet with no hurley to pick it up. Sends it back to Aidan O'Connor. Where's that going? Umpires are looking and it's over the bar. What about the assist from Ross Griffin? No hurley, scooped it with 2 hands out to Aidan O'Connor, and the finish, well, that wasn't bad either.
Great score right beside the sideline, straight, split the post straight over the bar, and again momentum shift. Ballybrown looking good at the moment. Yeah,
Aidan, I think since he put 1 sock down, it seems to be going quite well. I'll be trying that next week now myself in a different sport, but chance now for Ballybrown. Ned Quinn and Josh Considine, you mentioned the physicality. He does well to turn it over there. Back here, is there going to be a chance for Cian Fitz? Ross Griffin has been everywhere for tackling for Ballybrown. His numbers are good, I'd say, on the statsman sheet. And it breaks away to Josh Adams. O'Connor, is it going to be the lead for Ballybrown? O'Connor sends it out towards that left. It just doesn't turn in enough. But again, you just feel Ballybrown getting the better of it, things in terms of those 50-50s and those little breaking balls.
Definitely. And you mentioned Ross Griffin there. He's having an excellent game. He's working hard. He's breaking up things and setting up.
Oh, it breaks now for Cian Lynch. Lynch gets away from Doolan. Lynch bearing down the goal. Lynch back of the net. And a crucial score with just 5 to go. And there's going to be a yellow card inside for Stevie O'Reilly, I think, for throwing the hurley. And he's in a bit of discomfort as well, but a very, very good finish from Cian Lynch. We're just looking at a replay here. The ball sent inside from It was Evan Fitzgerald broke it for himself, really, didn't he?
Broke himself, yeah.
And Lynch put it just back on the hurley, off the hurley, into the bottom corner. No chance for O'Reilly in the Ballybrown goal.
He probably thought about taking him out of it, but he probably would have got straight red if he did. So kind of half tackled him, but good finish by Lynch. But again, kind of came from that, and Ballybrown have been on top of the last few minutes. And
their full back line just got maybe sucked out too far, didn't it?
Sucked out a bit, and Lynch, he tapped it out himself, and great work by him, really.
Yeah, great stuff from him. And 2:16 plays 1:16. Ballybrown had the chance through Aidan O'Connor, very unlucky not to put them in front. A shot from this near stand side, just from about where the ball is now, went wide as the ball comes out, and it's going to be a line ball for Ballybrown. As Jonathan Hayes explains the reason it's a line ball for Ballybrown. That nearly went out for me. Doolan. Hartnett does well into Adams, but again it's a little bit rushed off the back foot. Josh Adams' effort, where's that going to go? Is it going to tail? I think it is. Indeed, it's gone well to the right and wide. 5 wides now and all in the second half for Ballybrown. Yeah,
5 minutes left, but from the Ballybrown perspective, they don't need to panic. There's still plenty of time if they keep kind of picking off their scores. As I said, they were well on top of the last few minutes, just the goal between them now, so no need to panic just yet.
Most definitely not. As Josh Adams with that wide a second ago, but gets under. Galan sliding with him. Everyone fighting for it. Adams pulls on it, and the sideline is going to win the race with that one before Ross Griffin can come out and engage. 1 goal in it. Patrickswell have led this contest. Well, they led it early on. They've been pegged back a few times, but as I keep saying, Ballybrown just haven't managed to gain the upper hand, and you'd feel if they could, they might be in a race for the finishing line, as the line ball is to be taken now by Patrick Kirby. Foster meets with the hurley, but it goes back out over the line. And there's again consultation beneath us for the Ballybrown management. I wonder if they've they're signalling one more sub, so we'll see what and who comes in. Brian Griffin is going to be the man, wearing 18, the older brother of Ross. 29-year-old getting prepped for this one is Josh Considine. Sends it inside. Oh, that's great defending from David Hartnett. Hartnett met full on by Josh Considine, does enough to put him out over the line. 2 boys didn't pull out of that one.
No, but
great shoulder from Josh.
Great shoulder from Josh, but that's the physicality I was talking about earlier that Josh will bring to it. He loved the big hits, and great big hit there, and the line ball went Patrickswell's way, so that is a bonus.
Just keeps eating away the clock as well, as we're inside 2.5 minutes. Is cut by Kirby. They're all tussling inside. Is it going to escape out the back door? Sheehan is there for Ballybrown. The ball is now knocked 65. Out for a 65, and crucially that can put 4 between them. It's Ballybrown probably going with 2 big men inside, Brian and Barry, Barry Adams is.
Yeah, I think that's the plan now. It'll be route 1 from Ballybrown from here on in, and try to sneak an old goal and get the deficit back to 1 point. You'd imagine Darren will put this over the bar, so there'll probably be 4 points between them after this. So it'll be all route 1 after this for Ballybrown, I'm thinking. So
number 18 is in Ballybrown. That is Brian Griffin in. David Hartnett, who just got turned over there by a superb Josh Constantine's shoulder. His day is done. Off he comes as Burns steadies himself, goes through this routine. Very distinct style. Lifts and strikes, and where's that gone? It's just gone inside the right post as Patrickswell prepare another one.
Yeah, Calvin Lynch is in there now or Calvin Carroll, sorry, number 22 for Patrickswell is in.
Kevin O'Brien is making way. So Cian Lynch has kind of reverted a bit deeper as well. They look to protect what they have. Not often you find himself on the end of a ball into the full forward line, but he did for that crucial goal a couple of minutes ago. Goes long. Ross Griffin is amongst it. Josh Adams has gone into the forwards for Ballybrown. Sends it to Aidan O'Connor. They're going to need this one to go over. It looks inviting. Barry Adams. Oh, he's flashed it over the bar. They're all saying wide. I think that's good. I think that was a point. And the umpire agrees too.
Initially I thought it was a point as well.
Yeah, the umpire has given it.
But that it just goes to show the danger around the square now. Any high ball in, Ballybrown are quite capable of pulling it out of the sky, and that could have got under the crossbar just as well as over it.
Yeah, great take in the air. Left paw. Oh no, it's definitely a point, no doubt about it. But he'd have rather it maybe a foot or 2 lower, and we'll be back to a 1 point game. Nevertheless, a goal in it. Barry Adams on the score sheet now for Ballybrown. Gillan and O'Reilly tussling for it underneath it, but Josh Adams is there. He pulls on it. Cian Lynch was there with no hurley. Patrickswell do well. Cian Fitzgerald does well to get the hand pass off somehow. Aidan O'Connor picks it up in a phone box. How does he do that? Sends it across to Ross Griffin. I think he lost it in the autumn sun. As the ball now aired across to Jordan Higgins. 4 point from him would be a real fill up for the well. Is he going to come away from it here? He's going to pass it off. He sends it off to Kirby. Kirby to finish it. Kirby to the back of the net. And as we enter stoppage time, John Kirby fires it to the back of the net. And I think we're going to be going in for a yellow card and a red card now for Ballybrown as Stevie O'Reilly throws the hurley for the second time and he is gone. So insult to injury. Stevie O'Reilly fires the hurley. And Ballybrown down to 14, but well worked goal. Jordan Higgins could have taken his point.
He did. Went for the juggler. The opportunity was on, and that's what you have to do. I think if the opportunity for goal is there, you have to go for it, and it worked out this time, and that's probably put the game beyond doubt now for Patrickswell.
Galan somehow comes up with it, and Griffin and Galan tussling is Aidan O'Connor from the sideline. Aidan O'Connor though, that has just tailed off and wide. Didn't actually see what was added on. We just missed it in the build up to the goal, but time has certainly come against Ballybrown now, and indeed the 2 goals in the last few minutes. One from Cian Lynch, the other one then off the stick of John Kirby as Galan in acres of space. Well, doesn't catch that well at all, and ball arrowed out there. They need something quick. They need this to go to the edge of the square and then straight into the back of the net. Ball in tight. Josh Adams is in there. Barry Adams is underneath it though. Flicks it down. Can he get it? He looks to kick it, but Mark Carmody comes away with it, and Patrickswell can clear their lines. They have the spare man, of course, a reminder thanks to that red card. And Burns, there's a lot of steps there. He trips as ball is sent across, and again Patrickswell maybe just for another insurance score. Where's that going from Calvin Carroll? It is going across the face and wide. Right. Out to Lee Doolin. He's gonna want to go route one. Doesn't even look. Turns and just sends it in. Josh Adams is in at the edge of the square. Adams, does he have it? No, he doesn't. Josh Considine is with him. Battle of the 2 Joshes. As again, someone is there for Ballybrown. Colin Coughlin. Well, he was throwing it up, but Mark Carmody was all over him. As Patrickswell looked to have seen this one out. Good soloing, good carrying away. And Cian Lynch with all the time now to pick out a pass, and it's the cornerback John Flynn, and Flynn, that's going to go all the way to the goalkeeper, spilled inside there, and it's a free out for a foul on Josh O'Reilly. But Ballybrown really needed one of those last deliveries to find its way in the back of the net to have any chance, I feel, but they're not going to give it up just yet. The puck out though, not the cleanest of strikes, and Cian Lynch just has it, sends it across to Galan. Galan has the runner, decides to keep it to himself. Oh, lovely little bounce pass. He's going to get it back. He is. Aaron Galan to seal it. Galan top corner. And he could have easily put it over the bar. Lovely little 1-2. Yeah. And just like that finds the top corner. Great goal.
Great goal by Aaron. Yeah, some great passing, great movement and a great finish. But I suppose it probably doesn't really reflect how close the game actually was. 4-17 to 1-17. Patrickswell probably struggled for different periods of the game. Ballybrown were on top for a lot of it, but like the Kildime game with Patrickswell, they seemed to get a few goals in the last few minutes and just see it over the line. Yeah,
they really went for the jugular. You mentioned the John Kirby goal. It could have been a point that would have kept Ballybrown into it, killed it off really, and then Aaron just puts a bit of glass in it. There was a tremendous goal, it's fair to say.
Oh, tremendous goal. I think that kind of, he got a great goal against the Piercy. That one, it was nearly as good as it, if not better. But yeah, I'm not sure. Patrickswell will be delighted, obviously, to get into a county semi-final, but they definitely have a few things to brush up on. Ballybrown were well in this game for long periods of it and played some better hurling at times. So Patrickswell will be delighted to get over the line and look forward to a semi-final against Kilmallock, I believe, but certainly plenty to work on.
Yeah, it's Kilmallock. That was a mouth-watering game. It was a great game in Cappamore a couple of weeks ago, but I suppose it'll be knockout hurling now, so you'll be hoping for that plus a little bit more spice to it as well.
100%. Like I suppose, like the 4 that are left are the same 4 again in terms of you've doing Patrickswell, Kilmallock and the Piercy, but Not much between Kilmallock or Patrickswell, I think, going into the semi-final, and that game at Campmore was outstanding. There was some unbelievable hurling on it, so we'll be hoping for more of the same. Plenty top-class hurlers on display, so it should be a great game of hurling.
Yeah, well, we'll be back, I'm sure. Another stream in a couple of weeks in the semi-finals. I'd like to thank Barry Foley for his contribution this afternoon with Patrickswell. It's the bragging rights for Barry and Patrickswell on a scoreline of Patrickswell 4-17, Ballybrown 1-17. Tom Clancy signing off here at the TUS Gaelic Grounds. Galan, little hand pass off. Everyone scrambling, looking for it. Chance now for O'Brien. O'Brien puts it back into the paw. O'Brien, what's he going to do? Is he going to go for goal after hurling it is? Tom O'Brien fires it to the back of the net. What did you expect? But it's Carmody fouls Coughlin, and Ballybrown not happy with that, but Colin Coughlin is going to send it over. That's a good reply. Goal, he's going to go for a point, I think sensibly so he will. And Aaron Galan gets the first from play. Suddenly the horse as well as O'Connor lifts the strike outside the 45. The umpire, what does he think of it? He likes it. A goal and 11-9 as Lynch gets on it again. What can he do here? He's going to sensibly take the point and open Patrickswell's account for the second. Skips away from Mikey Gavin. Lovely ball for Jordan Higgins. 2 points early in the piece. Not seen too much of him since. But there's the third from Higgins. Doesn't even want to think about going for a score of his own. Sends it back to John Kirby, and Kirby, as easy as you like, puts another dagger in the Ballybrown hearts. Along with puck out, Aidan O'Connor beneath it. Mikey Gavin can pick it. Needs to race through here. He's out of catches. What can he do? Sends it off to Luke O'Connor. O'Connor bearing down a goal. Luke O'Connor back in the net. No under 21 winners last season. Colin Coughlin was one of the main men on that. And Colin Coughlin, what's he done with that? Oh yes, his own 40 left wing back to get it, and straight away we're back on it. Adams, that's looking good. Barry's nodding his head. He thinks that's gone over. Indeed it is. From just 3 players as O'Connor, one sock up, one sock down. There's the roars from behind him. They liked it straight away. There's a real chances. I bet he won't get it back again. Oh, look at a flick from Aidan O'Connor. Luke O'Connor tipped over the bar. Well, Ballybrown again putting a lot of pressure on the shooter as Mikey Gavin is. The shot is there. The shot is good from Keane.
Yeah, definitely. He's definitely been out for the bones of a few months. So that as you said, that was his first match back last week.
Some bit of close full health as Aidan O'Connor from his own half. And The sides are level here at the Gaelic grounds. Aidan O'Connor, Foster in wearing number 2, so he didn't start, but he's in now as Galan lines up the free.